right, Matrixx and Roadshow folks, we are going to talk about Snow White because look, we've already talked about it is the most disastrous Disney live action remake reboot of all time. But now it's getting even worse for the movie that Rachel Zegler single-handedly destroyed, and Disney also destroyed with allowing people like her to obviously give input in the movie. She came out and uh, pissed all over the original classic, and it was a classic. Absolutely, it was a beloved film, far as all these Snow White fans were concerned, and she came out and crushed it. And then, of course, she had all the comments for Trump supporters in and around the election, and it was like the double death at this point for this movie. And we'll get to some fan reaction on this, but this movie has taken a further turn downward. Just when they thought it could not get worse, it's worse. It is real worse. The box office weekend overall, Minecraft's actually doing pretty well, folks. For what they wanted, what they were projecting. It's a huge part that a Minecraft movie is on pace to jockey far ahead of its initial projections, which had a domestic opening weekend forecast of 70 to 80 million. A 3-day debut in the 9 digits is now on the way. The North American market hasn't seen one of those since Moana 2 back in November. Some projections have the blocky adventure film going north of $150 million its opening weekend, which would rank it in the top 30 biggest domestic debuts of all time. It will also probably beat the Super Mario Brothers movie, a fantastic film, for the biggest 3-day opening ever for a video game movie. Though there's a caveat that the animated film technically debuted on Wednesday and thus had already earned $58 million before moving into its weekend gross. Overseas, the numbers will come tomorrow, but Minecraft is a global brand and the film is drawing a big international crowd too. It's even one of the rare recent Hollywood films to be putting up a successful debut in China. Uh-oh, it's going to be a monster. This film's going to be big. Ranking first in the country's box office. With the $150 million production budget plus marketing, a Minecraft movie has kicked off strong, puts itself in position for a true blockbuster success. And what I've seen out of that movie is people are saying their kids love it, and they don't so much love it. So it's very much a targeted movie towards children. So let's come down here. The movie that knocked out Snow White last weekend. Snow White had a Titanic drop, but Jason Statham and the return of action movies. He's had a couple of nice action movie showings come out. His last couple of films, I still haven't seen The Beekeeper. Maybe I'll watch that later today. A Working Man looks to slide to second, so it's holding up. The Jason Statham vigilante thriller earned $1.9 million on Friday, looks to drop about 53% in its second frame. That's actually not terrible. The Black Bear production is expected to hit $27.8 million domestic gross in its first 10 days. Its pacing is a little behind Statham and MGM's 2024 conspiracy actioner, The Beekeeper. Almost said The Beer Keeper. That'd be a pretty good movie, too. $31 million in 10 days, but it is a solid turnout. Yeah, and remember something. The Working Man, that film has I think it's only got like a $40 million budget or something like that. So it should turn a profit here in the next 3 or 4 weeks, I would imagine. Disney's Snow White is in 4th place after earning $1.5 million on Friday, going down 60% from its daily 1 week ago. Now in its 3rd weekend of release, the live action remake of the company's original animated classic has faded quickly in theaters after putting up what was already a disappointing debut. The domestic gross now stands at $72 million. This is where it gets into even a larger disastrous territory for Disney, considering the budget. And the film is in serious danger of not even hitting $100 million in North America. A disastrous result for a $250 million Hollywood production. Keep in mind with that little tidbit, there's estimates that it's more like 350 to 400 when you include the marketing budget. But I will say this, Disney knew this movie was effed. When they started rolling back a lot of the red carpet, they premiered it over in Spain somewhere. They wasn't allowing the media to show up. The critics scores, the woke critics hated this movie. You knew it was off to a bad start, but long before this thing ever hit a theater. The titanic amount of dislikes on the movie trailers that would come out and the clips. The question is now, does Rachel Zegler have any kind of an actual career left? I mean, seriously. So we'll just go over here to X. There we are right there. Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. Good. Sorry for Snow White will work for food. That's really good. That's good, Jeremy. Yeah. I'm curious to see if this movie's really this bad. I'm sure it's horrible. It's horrible. Disney has had a consistent and growing disconnect with its core customers. It was going to come home to roost eventually. Hopefully, this is a wake-up call. This is several in a row now. Several in a row. This person calls them out for not giving the true budget, 400 to 450 million to break even. Not going to come close. Not going to happen. Not going to come close. This woke moron actress's career should be over after this. You got to think so. Seriously. It goes on to talk about the pandering in this movie. In other words, the movie came out after people were like, there's literally the amount of people had shrunk that they could even pander to for this film. Of course, and I'm talking about girl power. We don't need the prince, all that kind of bullshit that people were like, no, this is the kind of stuff that really made the original great. So, oh yeah, weird. Yeah, who's weird now? Go woke, go broke. Couldn't happen to a better company and actress. That's from Gays for Trump. That's great. This one is going in my thumbnail. I already clipped it out. Quote, I hope Trump supporters know no peace. Rachel Zegler. Trump supporters said, may Rachel Zegler know no profit on the movie. Sorry, not sorry. If this isn't a wake-up call, nothing will be. I don't know if this is it or not, folks. I don't, because it seems like every time we get to this point, we think, is this going to be the one? Is this going to be the one that Disney figures it out? Disney needs new leadership, no doubt about it. They need a house cleaning. The average moviegoer saw this coming from a mile away. Absolutely. I mean, for well over a year, we've known this movie was going to tank on an epic level. It was a disaster incoming. This was the Death Star for Disney. Now, as far as that leadership house cleaning, Bob Iger needs to go. Kathleen Kennedy needs to go. She will go. She's retiring. We know that. But dare I say, and I'm just going to keep it real, Kevin Feige probably needs to go too. And I know some Marvel supporters will probably be like, wait, what? Kevin Feige? Look, Avengers Doomsday looks like it could be a disaster. I mean, you're cramming all these characters into one film without the 10 to 12 to 15 years of buildup you had for Infinity War. This could be a discombobulated F show for Marvel and for Disney. I don't have high hopes for that movie. Unless they are triumphantly bringing Chris Evans back as Steve Rogers, as Captain America, all these movies are going to perform under what they should. And why they're cramming all these characters into a film without, they should have made some rando Avengers movie that could show you the new guys. Spider-Man's in there, and Thor, and blah blah blah. Maybe the Falcon will return to being the Falcon. They're going to have to do things like that. But no, let's jump straight to Doomsday and then straight to Secret Wars. Tell me what you think. Snow White blows. Peace, I'm out. Till next time.